Hey Happy Crew, HappiDaze here. In today's video we're going to go ahead and take on Grand Party. So unfortunately I didn't get to get much of the gameplay from yesterday's Grand Party matches. As you see on the screen, I did go 3 for 3 first day. It's really easy to go ahead and get the victories on the first day. So nothing impressive. I do have the raw video if you guys actually want to see it. Let me know in the comment section below, and if you can, maybe I'll just throw a video out tomorrow that will show the day 1 matches. We did face some old Int Luffy captains, as well as some older Sai Luffy captains as well. So just some interesting matchups. So far on this season, the rule set really favors quick characters. You do get debuffs to the Dex characters, -10 to their defense, I believe. As well as basically just, having some cooldown if you're using slashers. So obviously remember the strategy from last season. What we're really doing is really going with the slashers first, then using the Free Spirit team to kind of clean up afterwards. So I'll just go ahead and get into some matches, get started, see how it is. So just starting off, let's go ahead and take on this mill team. Why not? It's a Reddit user. I'm a admin on the OPTC subreddit, for those of you know. So why not? Let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, I don't know what Tesoro's burst is. I'm guessing it's just a normal, like, 500 damage type burst. But just looking at the screen right here, like, I don't really see anyone really threatening on either of these 3 teams for the teams that we have. So we're going to go with our usual strategy of going ahead and using our Slasher team first, Free Spirit second, and then our Int team last. Now, we do have a little bit of a switch up compared to how we did last season. We do end up using the Brook from the Memories Straw Hat campaign that's been going on, just to kind of help bolster the Free Spirit team. And really, the fact that he gives a revive for characters on top of the characters that already have multiple revives. What I'm really hoping to do, the strategy I'm kind of going into this season to see how it works, is to see if I can go ahead and use the basically that second team to tank 2 bursts. So that way I don't use a burst on the first unless I absolutely have to, and then I'll basically have 2 bursts for the final fight, which is usually more than enough to get through without any problems whatsoever. So that's kind of the game plan of what we're doing there. We do always start with our Slasher team. It just seems like even with the cooldown that they're getting this season, like, they're absolutely ridiculous. Like, the Slasher team is so broken that if there's not something actively countering them, they are probably the best team that you can get there. So you can see just with what we did there, we've literally wiped out all 5 of their characters right off the bat. 3 will come in, won't be able to really do anything against us, so we're going to just go ahead and just skip, because, well, just saving some time there. So you can see, first match we got through, not a problem at all. We only charged our burst maybe a quarter of the way through, so we do charge our burst by taking damage. So unfortunately, because we killed that team so quick, obviously we didn't have a lot of damage done against us, which is why we ended up being stuck with only getting a quarter of the gauge charge there. So second team is kind of a weird mix of units. It almost kind of looks like an auto team in some ways based on what you're seeing here. Not a lot of crazy synergies. You have a bunch of different colors, not really a common theme in class there. So yeah, like I said, this fight might just take a while because this team is really meant to be a really tanky team. It can just take a ton of damage, and the really only damage deals that you have on this team are really the Luffy there, and you get a little damage from the Sanji, and of course the King on the back bench there. But Zoro, really his damage comes from the counters that he does. The Nami and Karini there are just really just get rid of specials, reverse specials. So yeah, it takes a while for this team to get going, unfortunately. But once they get going, we'll be good. We're going to take a big shot here because of the damage of Jack. But that'll just allow us to go ahead and use our burst, hopefully pretty quick in this match, so we can just literally wipe out the whole front line there. Alright, perfect. Exactly what we're looking to happen with this. We should be able to just wipe out their whole front line that's currently on screen. Alright, we had some survivors. Let's see if Sanji can just finish those guys up. Perfect. Alright, yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and skip because there's really no way with just those 3 units that they can kill us. Like I said, we'll just save some time for you guys there. So that will give us the second win of the first match. Get us 4 wins total. Get us 1 step closer to going 6 out of 6. Just a friendly reminder, when you're done your matches for the day, just make sure you go ahead and set your captain or your leader for GP to a non-burst captain. As you saw, I ended up doing that with what I was doing there. help out the community. It doesn't really matter as much on the first couple of days, just because people really, you can see teams, you have a limited retries, it's not that big of a deal. But just help people out. So I'm going to go ahead and take on this third team at the bottom here. It has the most damage out of all the different teams. Looks like, is it a quick team up front? So it's okay. Strength team in the middle, and then a side team at the bottom. So luckily our int team that we have there is really meant to completely counter that. So as long as we can win this first match, it should be pretty easy to secure the victory, even though they're using a side G5 leader. Of course, our leader ability can force out their free spirit units as well. So, like I said, hopefully that last match should go pretty easily. With the buffs that the quick team is getting, they are actually pretty formidable this season, from what I can see. So you can't completely sleep on them, even having a fully kind of max slasher team that I have here. You still got to respect what the quick team is doing. So I think what you'll see in this season is you see a lot of Dex teams flying around. You see a lot of quick teams flying around. And then, like I said, the third team that you probably see mostly is going to be made up of slashers or free spirit, something like that. And that'll probably be like just the majority of what people are running for the event. So unfortunately for us, we did get some delay there, which is a pain just because we already get a CT down of, I believe it's 5. Just for the rules of this season. So this makes it a little bit more of a pain. You're going to take a 30% damage here from Kenu. I was hoping that it was enough to charge our gauge. Isn't, but maybe right here we'll be able to at least take a shot to charge a gauge so we can go ahead. Perfect. There we go. So we're just going to go ahead and use our burst just to help us out. Do a ton of damage. Get a lot of units in there. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to start using some of our specials. These Orosanju will start pushing people to the top. And basically we'll just be building our gauge for that battle. So we are going to take a shot right off Rift on the second match here. There's a chance that the G5 could actually go on this. But we'll have to see what happens. With the AI, sometimes it goes in the first match, sometimes it doesn't go. It's really dependent, so I'm be curious to see what happens there. If the AI wants to choose to use one of their bursts here, if it did, it would be smart. But like I said, we'll see how the AI plays it out. I'm assuming if it hasn't used it yet, it probably won't. So let's just take a quick look. A couple more hits and all these guys will be dead. This is gonna hurt because the S-Hawk is just crazy. I think once Shanks goes, we'll be in a good spot there. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so that's good. Our gauge is pretty much fully charged. When it goes in this next match, we're just going to take a burst off Riff, and that will basically fill the rest of our charge gauge the way. And then we just got to hope that we can actually get them to use the rest of their charge gauge there. That way we go into the last match with hopefully a advantage in terms of the number of bursts that are remaining. So we'll see the burst get taken right here. As I mentioned, we're not going to go ahead and use our burst here. We're just going to go ahead and let it go. And actually, I could probably skip the rest of this match. Like, I don't anticipate winning this match. So yeah, let's just go ahead and skip the rest of the match. We'll see what happens. So we did lose, but as you saw, they actually used their second burst, which is actually perfect. It would have been probably a little bit closer if they choose to save their burst for that last battle. But luckily, because the AI, when it automatically detects there's a chance of it losing the match, it will force it to use that special automatically for us. So yeah, now not worried at all about here. Like I said, we'll just wait till the specials of our opponent's team are just about ready to go. And then we'll go ahead and use our special. It'll force out a bunch of their units. Hopefully then we'll have a lot of damage coming from our team. Especially the Uta hits super hard in here with she does like 8 turns of damage, or 8 different attacks of damage. You have the Luffy does a ton. You have a bunch of special rewind with the Bond unit that's there. Uta hits hard. You can go ahead and have the Vegapunk who can reduce cooldown for 1 unit and do some stuff there. So yeah, I mean, you could just see it just forced out 2 units there, but it wiped out 3 units on their bench, including the Aokiji, who does the 4K hit. So that was a huge win for us to be able to go ahead and knock them out. So once Atlas goes, I think we'll see most of the rest of the team just melt away, and that just puts us in a really good spot to go ahead and wrap up this match hopefully pretty quickly, even though we were facing pretty formidable teams there. Alright, Uta's going to hit pretty hard here, force the revive of Luffy, which is good, and then hopefully my Luffy here can do enough to just wrap up the match here once he goes. He does a 5k shot, I believe, roughly, in the area of attack, so like I said, he should hopefully be able to take out the Yamato and the Law there. Looks like the Yamato already got taken out before. And he does the force out too, because we did the force out on the Luffy, and they don't have any units on the bench, we automatically win. So there we go. Much harder team than the last team we fought, but you could see we were able to get through that pretty easily. And that strategy of having that team in the middle to just literally be a sponge for damage ended up actually working out pretty good to kind of force both of those specials to be used on there. So we can see a little bit easier probably on this match. And go ahead and just face that bottom team. So it is still a pretty crazy team. You have the Slasher team in the first slot there. Obviously, they're probably the best team in PvP. Got to watch out for them. Then you have probably the Quick team in that middle slot, followed by probably a Free Spirit team in that very last team. So let's go ahead and just take on this match, get through it. Pretty crazy combat power, 250k, which is kind of nuts. Which means that they probably have a pretty fully maxed Slasher team, as well as probably a pretty fully maxed Quick team. So the good news is, because of their character, they set their character to a rare recruit at the end of their matches, so it just makes it so much easier. It's pretty much almost like a complete mirror match of what we have, right? It is a mirror match, so the benefit or the advantage that we have is that we'll be able to go ahead and use a burst here. Granted, they're able to get their specials off first, so a couple of the units get their specials off, and then we can just kind of clean up after that. Now, it's going to take a while for all of our specials to go off with the CT reduction, but it kind of is what it is, right? That's kind of all that comes with the kick territory. So our S-Hawk goes first. That's good. Does a bunch of damage there. We can take a shot from Shanks here. Not as big of a shot as I thought we were going to take, so hopefully, there we go. Now we're able to take a shot from S-Hawk, which is perfect, and just charges our gauge so we can go ahead and basically hopefully take out the rest of these real strength units before they're able to go. Check out the Zoro Sanji, which is awesome. Doesn't let them move all their specials to the top. And now it's literally a 3v8. Should be pretty, or maybe a 4v8, and should be pretty easy for us to seal the deal without too much problems here. Hopefully just take a little bit more damage, that we just have our gauge fully charged for fight number 3. If we wanted to, we probably could force a rush on battle number 2. If I remember correctly, it was the Quick team. So the tough part about the Quick team is that they just have so many HP reduction units. So you have the Kainu, who does like 30% damage reduction, and then you have a bunch of other units who just hit like tanks out there. So definitely don't expect to be able to beat this with just the Free Spirit team that we have here. Granted, if we had this switched out where we had Otama in the last position there, and you had like Law and maybe someone like Kuma, sorry, not Law and Kuma. If you had someone like Smoker, Dory and Broggy is usually the other characters if I have Otama in the Brook slot there. So swap out the Ace and the Sabo with the Dory and Broggy, and you can swap out then that Brook with the Otama, and like I said, you just have so much health and damage output. I could probably actually tank most of this match if I really wanted to, if I want to really try it, but like I said, we're really not doing that here. We have a better advantage in match number 3. So we're going to go ahead and actually just skip this match, like I said, just so our burst gauge gets filled. Okay, never mind. Like, yeah, I'm shocked that they were able to actually do that much damage against that team without even using a burst to take on the victory there. So, okay. Guess no match number 3 there. That will bring us to 6 out of 6 wins. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video today. Don't forget, when you're done for the day, go in, change your leader, just so everyone kind of knows what team you're running there. Usually I set it to Otama, but obviously Otama's not there. And I want people to kind of know what team is what, even though they can see all 3 teams on this day, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to set it to just this random unit here. Suleiman, I think, is the guy's name, something like that. Just so that people have an easier time. They don't have to take a burst when they're going. So just make sure you do that at the end of the day, especially towards the final days. It'll just help everyone out. I'd love to hear in the comment section below how your Grand Party is going so far. You know, are you dominating people with the quick team? Do you have any strategies that you're going after that have found particularly useful? Just let me know below. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, until next time, be kind to each other.